Please give a warm welcome to our next storyteller, Casey.
I know some people here. So this is a bucket list item, and I'm terrified. So, it is, I should start with my rules. I have 3 rules for potential crushes. And they might be PG-13, I don't know, so I'm gonna swear. One is have your shit together. I want you to pay your bills relatively on time, and if you live with a family member, I hope it's because they're sick or you're in between places, but you are not my age and living with your mother. Number 2 is be good at something. I love to support people I care about. I will go to your model airplane racing competitions if you are really good at them. Please do something else. Um, number 3 is new. I've stuck with 1 and 2 for a very long time, but number 3 I've had to adapt. Don't be a dick. So, back to the start of my story. In 1997, I was going to college in Virginia, but I was touring around going to see my favorite band from Boston everywhere. I wasn't a groupie. I worked occasionally selling merch and just occasionally following them around and never dating any of the band members. I went to Irving Plaza in New York City. It's one of my favorite venues. It's 2 stories. It's really fun. And they were playing, and when I walked in, the handsome boy behind the merch counter said, "That woman is going to be my wife." We had never met before. It was really off-putting and kind of scary. But we talked a little that night, and we watched the band play, and he was on tour with them. They were going to the Gorge in Washington, across the country. He was gone for 3 months. He wrote me postcards from all over the country. He gave me his beeper number, and we kept in touch. It was 1997. So for 3 months, we were apart, and I actually just found all those postcards, and they really warmed my heart. And we got back together, and we dated for a couple of years in college, and then went our separate ways. I got married, not to him. I got divorced, also not to him. And a few summers ago, I got a message, and it was really funny because on Facebook, I was posting pictures of our last trip together, which was cross-country. We drove from California back to Virginia, where I dropped him off, and we did all of these national parks. We did Zion and Bryce and Arches and Capitol Reef and Moab. And it was great, and we broke up at the end. But I was looking at these pictures and I was posting them on Facebook to some of my friends, and we weren't friends on Facebook, and we had no mutual friends. And then he contacted me out of the blue, and I thought, this is something. And he asked to come visit me, and I was seeing someone, and so I said yes. And so I told the someone who was kind of lukewarm about us that if he wasn't going to be warmer, that I was going to see my old boyfriend. And so we dated for another year, and it was wonderful and terrible and wonderful and terrible. And it turns out that he didn't really have his shit together. And he was really good at things. He illegally grew 30 plants of marijuana in his basement. And he was kind of a dick. So it was bad timing, and when do you break up with someone? It's, we're long distance, and then his mom died. And I didn't go to the funeral. And so I crushed him. I know, I'm sorry.